section. The chat section is for just saying hi to each other. Q&A section is where you can post your questions, which we will get to throughout the session. So I'm going to turn off my video and start sharing the presentation. And today we are talking about prime time for cybercrime, Black Friday and the festive season. So the origin and growth of Black Friday. The earliest known Black Friday dates back to 1952. It is the day after Thanksgiving, which signifies the beginning of the United States Christmas shopping season. Black Friday was introduced into South Africa in 2014. 47% of South African adults, which equates to 18.5 million people, participated in 2021. The age breakdown is age 18 to 24, around 52%, 25 to 34, 53%, 35 to 44-year-olds, around 47%, 45 to 54, that percent drops down to 41.4%, 55 to 64-year-olds was around 40.5%, and the lowest spend was at 65 plus. When asking South Africans why they shopped Black Friday, why and why not? The reasons were yes, because I'm bored at 7.4%. Yes, because I think that there's great value at 29%. Yes, but no specific reason why at 10%. Answers for no was because retailers inflate prices before sales, and there have been a number of retailers who have been seen to do this, where a product costs 100 Rand. They will increase a month before Black Friday starts that product to 120 Rand. And then when Black Friday hits, they sell it for 99 Rand. So 13.2% of South Africans said no, because retailers inflate their prices before the sales. 7.3% said no, because the products I want are not discounted. 2.2% said I've never heard of Black Friday. And 30.7% that there was no specific reason why. If we look back at some stats from Black Friday 2021, South African retailers rung up 11.3 billion Rand in sales. Black Friday sales and promotions generated a further 8.2 billion Rand in wholesale revenue, meaning that the total retail and wholesale sales was 19.5 billion Rand over a very short period of 3 days. These figures were 36% lower than Black Friday sales in 2019, which was pre-COVID when everyone was happy to go to the shops. Standard Bank reported that one customer spent 450,010 Rand in one transaction, and another managed to rack up 79 transactions in a 24-hour period. F&B recorded a peak of 490 transactions per second, and cardholders made purchases in excess of 2.5 billion Rand. Peach Payments said that they processed over 250 million Rand in transactions. Bearing in mind that Black Friday is on a Friday and it ends with Cyber Monday. So it is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So a very short period of time for us to spend 19.5 billion Rand. I want to show you a video of Black Friday mayhem. video carries on for another 12 minutes. So instead of traumatizing you, let's move on. Cyber criminals are taking advantage of the biggest shopping period of the year, which is Black Friday to Cyber Monday. Security experts are already witnessing an increase in counterfeit e-commerce sites that pretend to be legitimate brands. Fortinet notes, big events like Black Friday are the perfect opportunity for cyber criminals to flood inboxes with special offers that don't exist. This leads to shoppers to fake websites where they will happily disclose their bank details or personal info. Kaspersky says that this year's Black Friday will see more cyber criminals using botnets that distribute banking Trojans aimed at stealing users' financial data, predominantly targeting online shopping customers. Very often, credit card details or loyalty program details, are linked to your online account. So gaining access to an online retailer or your account profile would also mean access to your bank account and money. Even if there is no direct financial gain, personal user account info contains a host of valuable information, which is highly valued on the underground market and will inevitably find a buyer. And since many websites make use of the same third-party resources, attackers know that they just need to compromise a single component in order to skim a huge data pool of potential victims. Phishing is no longer seasonally specific or predictable, but it does remain an attacker's perennial favorite, as they don't have to worry about hacking through a firewall, trying to find a zero-day exploit, deciphering any encryption. It is much easier to just trick someone into handing over their details. Shoppers who fall for phishing scams will not only not receive the goods that they have ordered, but they will also become victims of identity theft and have their bank accounts cleaned out by these criminals. The latest annual crime stats released by Sabric shows a 75.3% rise in mobile banking, online banking, and banking app crimes. There was a total of 23,466 digital banking incidents, which accounted for 236 million rand in gross losses. Phishing, vishing, smishing, and email hacking or business email compromise are the most prominent fraud types affecting the digital banking space. So what the ish is going on? If I want to explain phishing, phishing is I pretend to be Standard Bank as an example, and I send 1,000 emails to 1,000 random email addresses pretending to be Standard Bank. I'm casting my net wide, and some of these email addresses will be Absa bank account holders, Capitec bank account holders, Investec bank account holders. It's quite an intentional approach because what I don't want is 1,000 people falling for my phishing scam. It's far too much for me to cope with. So it is casting my net wide. Spear phishing is when it is a far more targeted approach. So I pretend to be Standard Bank, but I send it to 1,000 Standard Bank customer holders. My likelihood of somebody falling for that scam is much higher because if you are a Capitec bank account holder and you receive an email from Standard Bank saying, click here to validate your details or your account will be shut down in 24 hours, you're not going to fall for that because you are not a Standard Bank holder. So spear phishing is a far more targeted approach. Vishing is when I do it via voice. So I phone you and pretend to be Standard Bank. I give you some crazy sort of excuse as to why your account is going to be shut down, and you have to disclose every single shred of personal information, including your ATM PIN and CVV number, or your account will be shut down forever. Smishing is when I do it via SMS. This also pertains to WhatsApp. So smishing is via SMS, vishing via voice, spear phishing is targeted, phishing is just a general email. So be suspicious of any email that requires immediate action. If there is some sense of urgency, chances are that is a phishing email. It is a common technique used by cyber criminals to rush people into making a decision or making a mistake. Be extremely cautious where attachments are included in that email, regardless of who the sender is. Files that have a weird extension can install harmful files or software onto your computer or your device if you open them. No bank will ever ask you to confirm or update your details via an email or to click on a link, so don't do it. Don't fall for it. Always sign off at the end of each session And if you are suspicious, call the sender and verify that email. Nobody is going to get upset with you if you have to call your insurance broker and say, I've received an email saying you've changed your bank account details. Is this in fact true? Always use reputable sources of info and know that's not Facebook. And check email addresses and URL addresses. If you are donating to a charity, always verify the authenticity before making any donations. So these are the most common Black Friday phishing scams going around. Number one, the gift that doesn't ever arrive. You're sitting online and you come across the perfect gift at a good price. You go to the site, put the item in your cart and click buy. You don't get a tracking number and the package doesn't arrive. When you try and find the seller has disappeared. The solution is always stick to reputable retailers. If you must shop at someone that is a new to you merchant, check for a physical address, check for a customer service phone number, look for a professional looking website. Look also for warning signs such as sketchy sites, including poor spelling, an odd design, and slow at loading. Obviously, if it's load shedding and your internet's down, then we need to ignore that part. Only buy from a secure site with an SSL encryption and with URLs that start with HTTPS instead of just HTTP. Look for the lock icon. Number two, message about an item that you didn't order. Another popular Black Friday phishing scam comes in the form of an email telling you that there is a problem with the item that you've ordered. You don't recognize the item mentioned and you know that you didn't order it, but you worry because the charge is significant. So you immediately respond by clicking on the link that they've provided. This is where you would disclose sensitive information such as your bank login, credit card details, or other private information. Your safest course of action is to simply delete that message and do not respond to it in any way. If you are concerned that someone has ordered something under your name without your permission, go to the retailer's website, check your purchase history, or contact customer service using the phone number provided on their website. Fake shopping websites. You think you're on a website of your favorite retailer to score a deal, but in fact, you're on a cloned website that is set up by a scam artist. You make a purchase, or so you think, and the scammer steals your credit card information. And there is a chance that you will end up simply by making a typo in the Google search. The way to avoid cloned sites is to make sure you're using a real online site where you want to shop. The best way to do this is bookmark all legitimate versions of your favorite shopping sites in advance. Don't go type it on Google because that's when you could click on a spoofed site. Avoid rushed mistakes. Do not ever visit a retailer by clicking on a link in a deal, email, or text, or on social media. Bookmark Takealot as an example, and every time you visit Takealot, go to your bookmarks and click on the link there. The last one is fake delivery notifications. So these are notifications that may look like they're coming from your local courier. The scammer's odds of getting a successful response are vastly improved when Black Friday shopping through to Cyber Monday, due to the huge increase in online shoppings taking place. They may mention a problem with your delivery and provide a link that you can click to fix the problem. You may be asked to enter personal information or your credit card number, and without giving away any specific details as to what the item is or where it is coming from, it is tempting to reply. Be aware because this is becoming a very common scam. How you protect yourself is track your purchases and shipments on your own using the delivery company's websites. This is an example of a typical phishing email. If you just scroll or hover, if I use my mouse, if this was a legitimate email, all you would have to do is just hover over the name of the company who sent you the email. It will then pop up the actual email address, and you can see that this is not, in this example, Amazon. This is not Amazon's genuine email address. They've spoofed it to look like it's Amazon or Takealot or Standard Bank or Woolworths or Pick and Pay, whatever they want it to be. If you just hover over the name in your mailbox, it will pop up the email address so you can see if it is legit or not. Do not trust emails where there are attachments or include any attachments. Be very careful of links asking you to click here to do something. Rather just type in Amazon, rather just go to your bookmark of Take-A-Lot, and there you will see the Black Friday deals. You don't have to click on the email that is sent to you. There's always be an impersonal greeting. It'll say, dear customer, dear consumer, dear Take-A-Lot member, etc. It doesn't address you by name. This can be sign of a scam, so watch out for that. And don't ever, 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 ever click on a link. If you hover over the link, it will show you what that link is actually taking you to. And in this instance, it wouldn't be to Amazon's website. To bring it a bit closer to home, here are some game Black Friday hoax adverts and promotions. I'm not sure if any of you have received these from Woolworths. I receive them all the time. My friends send them to me quite often, where if you fill in this survey, you will get an iPhone or a car or a TV or something amazing. But the questions they ask you are quite bizarre for Woolworths to want to know. It'll say things like, what is your mother's maiden name? What is the name of the street you grew up on? What is the name of your childhood best friend? What is the name of your first pet? Why would Woolworths want to know any of that info? And the answer is they don't. This is not Woolworths at all. This is a scammer who's created this, sent it around via WhatsApp, 6 degrees of separation. It tours the world in a couple of days. And the questions that they ask are all your account recovery questions. So what is your mother's maiden name so that you can recover your account password because you've now forgotten it? You disclose all of that information to them in the most commonly used account recovery passwords. So be very, very careful. Woolworths is not giving away 6,500 Rand in gift cards. We wish. This is Pick n Pay. So Black November prize draw. Congrats. There's the Wheel of Fortune nonsense. Pick n Pay's 50th anniversary. They look like, sorry, somebody's calling me on Teams. Apologies about that. They do look like legitimate websites. It's got Pick n Pay's branding. There's no spelling mistakes. It's not like something that would be very easy. Do you see how there's always some sense of urgency? Your code is going to expire in 49 minutes and 38 seconds. Oh, you better fill it in or you're not getting this prize draw. So be careful about something that creates a sense of urgency. This is sorry, somebody is calling incessantly now. Sorry about that. So Pick n Pay has quite a few of these, all retailers do. And there's always some sense of urgency. You have to click answer all of these crazy questions, which would be questions that Pick n Pay would never ask. Here's Take-A-Lot. So this is a spoofed Take-A-Lot store where every single thing appears to cost 60 Rand, no matter what it is. This is actually a page on Facebook. So you can see it says Take-A-Lot, Take-A-Lot online, Take-A-Lot extras. It's quite easy if you came across that to think that that is actually Take-A-Lot's website. But every single thing in the whole store, even though it's got the branding on, here we go, Take-A-Lot, costs 60 Rand. Scam alert, do you know Take-A-Lot? Thanks, Mom, we're giving away a Mother's Day gift voucher, Father's Day, Easter, Black Friday, every single Teacher's Day event, we're giving away vouchers. So be careful of these sort of scams that go around. So how do I stay safe online and shop online? These are tips and tricks. Do not save your card information. So when using a retailer site, always, I know it's a pain, put your card info in every time you make a transaction. Retailers will often ask if you want to store your card information on their site for a faster checkout. It is a good idea to decline this option to reduce the chance of having your card information compromised. So if you are using Take-A-Lot as an example, if they have your credit card details stored and Take-A-Lot gets hacked, then along with that interception, your credit card details would be stolen. If you don't store it, then it's not on there. Do not ever, doesn't matter what day of the month it is, use free Wi-Fi for online banking or shopping. Be aware of phishing emails and check your account regularly for suspicious activity so that you can take early action if your account has been accessed. If you receive an unexpected authentication message when you are not shopping online, block that transaction and immediately contact your bank. Phone them, let them do something about it. Do not ever click on an unknown link or open an email attachment from an unknown source. Be aware of lookalike domains and always shop from authentic, reliable sources. So Woolworths is WOOL if it happens to have 3 O's and it's not necessarily something you would pick up because it's not really what you're looking at. That would be a very easy way for someone to create a spoofed website. Look for the lock symbol and SSL encryption that appears. So it must always say HTTPS. SSS is your super amazing letters. This is what is making that site secure. Look for subtle clues, and these don't always exist. But if they do, then you must know that this is a scam, like poor grammar or spelling errors, and this can indicate that the email is from a fraudster. Like I said, this isn't always present. These scams are becoming far more sophisticated than they ever were. But if that is present, then it is a telltale sign that it is a scam. If a deal is too good to be true, then chances are it's too good to be true. Do not fall for it, even on Black Friday. Phone to verify, phone the retailer, phone the bank, confirm the offer. Are you actually selling this Smeg kettle for 80% off? Are you actually selling this mountain bike for R2.50? Confirm the bank details and confirm any other details before you make payment. It's very difficult to reverse that transaction or stop it once the payment has been made. Just phone the retailer and ask them, is this a genuine offer? Always, always, always practice a strong password policy, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, and always report the threat. So on the Amazon email, once you scroll over or you hover over the name, there is an option on your mailbox, regardless of what email service you're using, to report that. Don't just move it into your junk folder, delete it and forget about it. Always report it as a phishing email. So if you receive an email that is obviously a phishing attempt, don't just ignore it or delete it. Report it to your mail provider, and if it is on your work email, report it to your IT team. When an email threat goes unreported, it raises the risk level for everyone else. If you report it, then the email company will shut that, that specific domain from coming through again. So this is what we need to do. If you are a broker that has retail clients, sell them cyber insurance, because it doesn't matter what you do. If a hacker wants to hack you, they will. That is the reality. So sell your retail clients a cyber insurance policy that will protect them against a network breach or a privacy breach. And for you in your individual capacity, purchase cyber insurance for yourself and your family. So I want to spend a second talking about passwords, the bane of our existence. Please take this website address down, and I'd like to ask for a volunteer. So please, can somebody put up their hand, and then I will promote you that you can speak, and then we'll do this exercise together. I'm going to stop sharing my screen in a second. I'll just give you a chance to take this down, take a photo of it, copy it. Tracy Delport, yay, thank you, Tracy. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to open up this website, which is a website that I have showed you. Share screen over here. Okay. All right. So Tracy, Lwando, can you please promote Tracy so that she can speak?
Can you guys hear me now?
I've done that,
Tracy.
Okay.
Thank you so much for participating. I'm going to get to you in a second. I just want to quickly demo this website. So this website, you can put your password in to test if it is a safe or secure password. So let's say my password is password. It would take a hacker 0 seconds to crack my password. Let's say my password was Candace, okay? 0.02 seconds. So it's not a safe, secure password. If I had to have a combination of my 2 dogs' names, my kids' names, if I had them, my sister's names as an example, it doesn't mean that that makes it a safe, secure password. So the general rule of thumb is the longer the password, the safer it is. To increase the safety, add a capital letter, add a special character, add a number. So I'm turning over to you, Tracy. If we have Tracy, it's like that, right?
Yeah.
E1. Perfect. So Tracy, tell me something that you love. Love to do, love to go to, love to eat, favorite color, favorite movie. Tell me anything that you love.
I can put in curry. Love to eat
Sorry?
curry. Curry. I'm
Curry.
eating curry. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So Tracy loves curry. It's going to take 1 hour to crack this password. That's not good enough because any hacker that really wants to get into your online banking profile or to pretend to be you could take an hour to crack your password. How we make this password more secure? Let's add a special character and let's add a number where we can. So let's do
Put in a
zero.
number 1 after Tracy.
Well, for L, a 1 is not a replacement, right? So we need to, what we're trying to do is make this password long, has uppercase, lowercase, special characters and numbers, but something that I don't ever have to write down. Because then what people do is they'll create a contact on their cell phone that's called passwords, and Facebook is Tracy Loves Curry 1, and LinkedIn is Tracy Loves Curry 2, and Twitter is Tracy Loves Curry 3. Okay, that doesn't make your password secure. Writing it on a post-it, saving it on your desktop, printing out your passwords is a no, 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 no. So we need to create a long password that is uppercase, lowercase, special characters, numbers, and is unique for every single account that we have. How do we do that? We have a password that is impossible for me to forget. So I'm using your name. Use your own name because that's not something you'll forget. Use something that you love. Use a special character the first opportunity that you can, or a number. The first opportunity, not through the entire password, because that makes it too difficult to remember. Then you'll have to write it down. Did I put an S or was it a $sign here? Did I use a 3 instead of an E? Don't complicate it. How we now make this password secure, right? For Facebook, Tracy, as a hypothetical situation, you put FB at the end, TW, Twitter, LI for LinkedIn, etc., etc. It will take someone 3 months to crack this password. Realistically, is anyone going to spend 3 months hacking your password? Well, depends how much money you have in your bank account and if this is the same process that you followed for your bank account. Then maybe they could. But chances are it's quick in, quick out with hackers. They have their targets, just like most companies do. If their target is an X amount of money or X amount of victims in a specific month, what they can't do is spend 3 months hacking you. So by having your name, Loves Curry, password you're never going to have to write down, and simply changing the last 2 letters, you can take your password from something that takes 1 second to crack to 3 months. Tracy, what we don't want to do is now say, as an example, ST for Standard Bank. Let's just pretend you bank with Standard Bank. That changes from 3 months to 6 years. How interesting is that? So from LinkedIn at LI 3 months to ST Standard Bank 6 years. How interesting. But what we don't want to do is use this as your banking password. If somebody manages to crack this code that we're using, then they will try it as ST or FNB or AB for ABSA. And we don't want them to get into your bank account. So now we need to try something different. So Tracy Loves Curry, tell me something else you love, something that is important to you. It could be a special...
Kids.
Okay, but I need something that's more generic than my kids. It needs to be like a movie, the name of a movie.
Okay, Sunshine.
Sorry?
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Okay, let's change that. We don't want to use caps. Sunshine. Okay. Now we have a completely different password. It still says Tracy Loves, still has the @ in the same place, still has the 0 in the same place, but it's not curry. Okay. Tracy Loves Sunshine. Or you could make it your favorite movie, your wedding song, whatever you wanted to, but something that's completely different. Still, you do not have to write this password down, and it will take someone 10 months to crack this password. If it was, let's say you bank with FNB, right? What we don't want to do is say FNB. Wow, 75 years, amazing. What we don't want to do is say FNB because then somebody's going to know 100% that's your bank. By just saying FB, that could be Facebook, it could be another website that has FNB in it, or it could be your bank. So we don't want to make it obvious for the hacker. So this is a very good way that you can practice a safe password policy that has something that is specific to you, uppercase, lowercase, special characters, numbers, because some websites will want that. So let's make provisions from the start. If we are going to start practicing a safe password policy, and every time we access a site, so today you want to access Takealot, change Takealot's password. You want to access Facebook tomorrow, change Facebook's password by doing this. And as you log into accounts, even if you haven't used that account for a long time, remember, I need to change my password. It is always the best idea to change the password on your email account first. So let's say I'm using Gmail, I'll say GM for Gmail or HM for Hotmail or whatever. It's always best to change that email address as the very, very, very first. Because if somebody is sitting on your Gmail account or your Hotmail account or your Yahoo account, and you start changing passwords, they might be able to get into those emails, because it's going to email your Hotmail account to say, Tracy has changed her Facebook password, Tracy has changed her Twitter password, her LinkedIn password. So always start with your email account and then change passwords as you log in. I hope you have enjoyed this little demo. The website is passwordmonster.com. Feel free to post your real password in there. It will tell you if this is a safe or secure password. And then using this trick of one special character, one number, capital letter at the end, you can test how to make that password more secure. So let me go back to the presentation. Thank you so much, Tracy. Also,
Welcome.
if you had to use something that's not an English word, okay, that also increases the security of that password. So if I want to say, let's say, okay, did I spelled that wrong? Definitely. My Afrikaans is delicious. Okay. By simply, and it doesn't have to be all in capitals, you can add the special character, you can add the number, etc. By simply using an Afrikaans saying, it will take 2,000 years for someone to crack this password. Obviously not an amount of time that anyone could spend on cracking a password. So they go for the path of least resistance and they hack the person that lives next to you, or your next door neighbor that's using your Wi-Fi, because they managed to guess your password because it's your dog's name that you scream outside at 5 o'clock every afternoon. Let's say, okay, I want to say here, FB for Facebook, 34 centuries. Okay, I'm combining non-English words to make a saying that's not difficult for me to remember. It doesn't have to be 55,000 characters long, or the first sentence of the Bible, or my favorite phrase, or my favorite poem. It just has to be 2 words that are not English. I say FB for Facebook at the end, TW for Twitter, LI for LinkedIn as an example, and that makes this password very safe and very secure. And this one is 15 characters. So try use something that's not an English word, and that will increase the safety. Okay, let me stop sharing this and go back to the presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed that little demo. Okay. So that's the website. If you need a second to just take a photo of that, please do go ahead. This presentation is being recorded. It will be uploaded onto our YouTube channel, so you will be able to access it after the session once it's uploaded on iTOO's YouTube page. But this is a great website. There's lots of websites that you can test your password on. This is just the one that I prefer to use. So when I say, if you're a broker, sell your client a cyber insurance policy, whether that client is a retailer or not, they're still storing sensitive information. As an insurance broker, you are storing credit card information. If you collect payments, you're storing personal info, you're storing asset registers. So a cyber insurance policy is the only way to truly protect your network. What a cyber insurance policy does is it has two triggers. Either trigger needs to occur in order for the policy to respond. So the first trigger is a privacy breach. A privacy breach is a breach of confidentiality or right to privacy, which results in harm to your employees or your third parties. Your third parties are your clients. So if you as an insurance broker or you as Take-A-Lot or you as Woolworths are hacked and there's a privacy breach, then this will provide cover for your employees as well as your clients. The second trigger is a network breach, and there's lots of words on the screen. All a network security breach means that you must be hacked. If you are hacked, the policy will respond. And how it responds is as follows. It is a first-party, third-party policy, meaning it is covering you, the insured organization, your employees, as well as your clients. Your first-party expenses are the costs to restore, recollect, or replace any data, such as materials, working time, overhead costs. It covers specialists, investigators, forensic auditors, and loss adjusters because of the incident. Your network security liability is the defense and settlement of the liability claim arising from a network breach. Privacy breach liability is the defense and settlement of the liability claim arising from the privacy breach that has occurred. Regulatory fines, because POPI, the Protection of Personal Information Act, is a strict liability, meaning no negligence is required. You are able to purchase insurance to cover that fine. So if there is a privacy breach and Panzi Tlakula decides that there is a fine that will be paid by your company, you are able to insure that fine. Your business interruption versus a traditional insurance policy where there's physical damage. If I have hacked you, there's absolutely no physical damage to your company at all. And that's why a cyber policy has a non-physical damage business interruption module. It will cover the business interruption starting from 12 hours, which is your time deductible of the interruption. Your data recovery is the cost to restore, replace, or data that has been lost, stolen, or corrupt because you were hacked. Cyber extortion, if you are held to ransom, this is the module that will pay that actual ransom demand. There is a 24-hour emergency response hotline and a team of 5 individuals, which is assigned to every single incident. One is an attorney to deal with the liability, the defense and settlement of the liability claim arising out of each of the triggers. 2 is forensics. Forensics tells you how the incident occurred. Only when you know how the incident occurred can you stop that incident happening again. Number 3 is triage. Triage is a company that will do the data recovery. They start cleaning the malware of your systems. They help with the BI calculation, that sort of thing. Number 4 is public relations, PR company that has dealt with cyber incidents because of the negative reputational damage associated with an incident. So your PR company will give full spokesperson training, what you should, and definitely what you shouldn't say in communication to your clients following an event. And they will help you monitor things like, hello, Peter, if anyone's saying any negative about that company following a cyber incident. The last company does credit and identity theft monitoring for every person involved. So it is a fully comprehensive policy that is not covered by any other insurance policy. There is no other policy that even has a little bit of this cover besides a cyber insurance policy. There are some optional modules that you can purchase, which is risk dependent. And to give you an idea of pricing, on our iTOO Go offering, and this is tailored for companies under 250 million rand, the premium is dictated by your revenue. So hypothetically, let's say my revenue was 5 million rand. I would fall into that first line, the purple highlight. My deductible is 5,000 rand. A million rand cover is going to cost me 6,325 annual premium, 5 million, 13,885, 10 million, 21,375, etc., etc. Premiums can be paid monthly. Either we can collect or you can collect and pay us via bordereau. We don't have an issue. If my revenue was 105 million, I would then fall into this orange category here. My deductible goes up because my exposure is so much greater than someone with 5 million Rand revenue. And these are my annual premiums. So iTOO Go, very quick, very simple, easy offering, an instruction to bind essentially, provided your client can say yes to every question. How you provide insurance, or how you protect yourself in your individual capacity, is by purchasing a My Solution policy. This is a personal lines policy, so it is sold to a human being. There are 3 packages: Mega, Giga, and Terra. Mega would be your first-time income earner, young individual policy. Giga is your family package, and Terra is your more affluent sort of client. What this policy covers is theft of funds. So it is reimbursing you for funds that you have lost because somebody hacked your bank account, payment cards, or your mobile wallet. Identity theft is the cost resulting from the identity theft. So reporting it, refiling rejected applications, notarizing affidavits, credit and identity theft monitoring, and the cost to reissue your ID document. Your data restoration or malware decontamination module is the cost to restore your data and software following a cyber incident on your personally owned device. This would not respond if that incident was on your work-owned laptop, because your company would have a cyber policy to cover that exposure. Our cyberbullying or cyber stalking module, cyberbullying is what happens to a child, cyber stalking is what happens to an adult. It's the cost resulting from that incident. It is removing the content, any lost wages. There is a trauma benefit. Let me go to that slide quickly, which is an upfront payment for you or your child to go see a psychologist because you're a victim of cyberbullying or cyber stalking. And if the psychologist determines that your child has to be moved to a new school, there is an additional upfront payment for school costs. This could be school fees, school uniforms, whatever you would need that money for to move your child to a new school because they're a victim of cyberbullying. Our next module is cyber extortion, that is reimbursing you for any ransom payment that you have made because there was an extortion demand. Our liability modules, which is on our Terra package, the network security liability will pay for the defense and settlement of a third party suing you because of a cyber incident on your device. This does extend to cover IoT devices. IoT devices is Internet of Things device. It's any device that can connect to the internet. So if you had nanny cams in your house, a smart TV, smart fridge, security cameras, etc., whatever device you had in your property, if that was intercepted and it caused a loss to someone else, if they sued you, this is the module that would help you. Privacy and data breach liability is the defense and settlement of a third party claim against you because you compromised their information. Privacy and data breach by a third party is when we reimburse you for your legal costs against a third party resulting from a cyber breach. So hypothetically, Takealot is hacked. You have a My Solution policy. This policy will help you with your legal defense costs against Takealot because they were hacked and you are a victim of that breach. So really, really nice policy. In terms of monthly premiums, you can see it on the screen. The mega policy will cost you 15 Rand a month. To add your spouse or a maximum of 3 children on that policy, the total is 16 Rand 50. To add your spouse and 3 children is 18 Rand. A child is defined as any dependent person. It doesn't have to be your biological child. It is any dependent person under the age of 21. And we can extend that to age 25 if they are a full-time registered student. Your Giga package will cost you 55, 60, or 65 Rand a month. Your Terra package is 105, 115, 125 a month. If you are not offering this product to your clients, please do feel free to reach out to me and I'll explain the various ways that it can be offered. But regardless of whether you are a broker offering insurance to your corporate clients or you have a personal lines book of business, iTOO has a solution in both respects. So if I can just quickly show you our website where you can access all of these forms. Here we go, share screen. Okay, so this is iTOO's website. What I've done is I've gone to products, I've gone to cyber, and this is where you can get the corporate cyber information. If I go to products and I go to cyber and then My Solution, this will give you the download of the playbook which explains every single module and how the product works. So really quick and easy for you to offer this to your clients. I hope I'm sharing my screen. I don't think I actually was. Sorry. So this is the My Solution playbook. So if you go to iTOO's website, if you go to products and you go to cyber My Solution, this is the playbook that you will see. If you go to iTOO, My Products Cyber Insurance, this is the website that has all of the forms and everything that you'll need to download to offer your clients corporate cyber. Whether you are offering corporate or personal lines, if you would like someone from the cyber team to present alongside you, we would be more than happy to do that. Just reach out to us and we would be more than happy to assist. Yeah, I'm going to end with a little meme and then we will turn over to questions if anybody does have anything. So if I can just invite Lwando back on, please, if you can join me and let me know if there's any questions that I need to answer. So this joke says, I'm going shopping on Black Friday. And the little cat says, you need to pay that electric bill or it's going to be a Black Saturday too. That is it from me. Thank you so much for your time. Please do feel free to stay on if there are questions. If not, have a beautiful day. You will receive your CPD certificate from AC Develop. It will come through in a couple of days. But if I can just invite Lwando back on, please go ahead.
Fantastic, Candice. Thanks so much. Some brilliant and some scary things to consider, you know, given our online presence, what we do with our passwords and the like. There was one question in the Q&A. I think there's one coming in now. I have answered, but maybe you can expand on the answer. They've asked around the theft of funds limit of 50,000. This may be a little bit too low for wealthier clients. Any comments you want to make around that?
Absolutely. So the reason we've specifically chosen these limits is twofold. One, because when we did research with all of the banks and SABRIC, the average theft of funds amount was around 14,000 Rand. So by offering 50,000, it does allow that insured multiple claims in the year. Number two, we wanted to keep the premium as low as possible. But let's say that you have R1 million in your bank account, hypothetically. When somebody starts stealing money from your account, they'll start with small amounts. So they'll try 49 Rand. Then it will be 99 Rand. And then it will be a couple of thousand, 2,000, 5,000 Rand. You should get some sort of notification. Your bank would either call you to say all of a sudden there's, you know, massive activity on your account, or you receive the SMS that these transactions are going off. So realistically, for them to get to an amount above 50,000 is very, very slim without you knowing about it. You would then call the bank and notify them that somebody's using your account and it's not you. So there are multiple reasons that we have created the limits, chosen the limits that we have. One, because in fact, statistically, it does allow for multiple claims in the annual aggregate. Two, it lowers premium. And number three, the chance of them stealing R1 million from your bank account, if we look at the average South African, is not going to happen because we don't have R1 million. So we are looking at a My Solution 2.0 product where we will increase those limits, and that should be coming out in March 2023. So we will have a higher package because this is feedback that we do often receive from brokers, that the amount is not enough, even though statistically the chances of someone stealing more than that is slim to none. And that is across all banks and SABRIC. We would like to keep our brokers and clients happy. So we will be introducing a fourth package.
Excellent, thank you. I believe Nadia had a query. Nadia?
No, I'm done, thanks.
Okay, great. I don't see any other questions in the chat or the Q&A. Oh, there is one more question. How do we go about buying the My Solution policy? Do they need a broker?
Perfect. So we, iTOO, cannot deal directly with clients. So yes, a broker would have to be involved. I'm not sure who asked that question, but if you just look at the screen, my details are on there. If you can drop me an email at candice@itoo.co.za, I'd be happy to explain in detail the three options. But to give you a very basic overview, if you have a binder, you can offer this on your third-party platform, which is things like Flexi, Sims, Teal Integrity. If you have a binder, then we would amend your binder to offer My Solution. That process does take a substantial amount of time through no involvement of our own. It's FSCA approval, so it can take between 3 and 6 months. If you don't have a binder or you don't qualify for a binder or you don't make use of a third-party platform, we have created an online policy issuing platform, which we would create for your specific broker. It would have your contact details, your disclosure notice, your logo, all of that. We would create that for you. You share the link with your clients. They go on in a matter of 3 screens, purchase a policy themselves. Because it is linked specifically to your brokerage, you are the only one that will get that commission. And it's a really nice, effective tool. So in under 2 minutes, a client can purchase a policy. You would get all of that commission, and the extent of your involvement is merely sharing the link of your bespoke website with your client. Hollard has also incorporated this into their private version 3 wording. So if you have clients on Hollard private version 3 and you have a Hollard binder, it is automatically included into the wording. You just need to select it. So lots of options. Drop me an email. Happy to explain further.
Excellent. Thanks, Candice.
Awesome.
I don't believe there are any other questions. So I think we can wrap up there. Just want to say a very thank you to you, Candice, for today's session. I think a lot of good feedback has come through. Thank you for everyone that has attended today. This will be the Cyber Team's last Cyber Thursday for 2022. We will see you bright and early in 2023. So please do have a safe festive period. If you don't interact via emails or anything over the next few weeks, please do take care, and we hope to hear from you and your clients soon. So thanks again, and have a great day further.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.